Hey, how are you guys? My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com, and today we have a bit of a more unique situation. We are at ScaleCon 25, right? 25, and I'm joined by my buddy Scott. Now, I'm not even going to take a crack at saying his last name, but he has a very interesting product, an interesting story. It was actually recommended by one of you guys, several of you guys, to have him on the YouTube channel. So we're going to hang out for a little bit. This is very impromptu.
Sure is.
They are doing a speaking downstairs. We played a little hooky. It is day 2, so we are a little beat up today. But Scott, thank you so much for coming to hang out with me.
No, thanks so much for having me, and thanks everyone for watching as well. It's just awesome to be here. I am loving ScaleCon. This is my first one, so I didn't get to come last year.
Sure.
So this is great.
How is
a great community?
How is New Orleans weather compared to the UK?
Oh, gee, let me think. I left freezing cold, rain. It's grey. It's always grey in the UK though. So
I keep hearing.
Yeah, that's how we roll. We had our 2 days of summer.
Sure.
It's done.
Our 2 days of summer.
Yeah. It got to 14 degrees. What would you have? 30, I guess, something like that. T-shirts off,
Sure.
that's
30 Celsius.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like, Jesus, that's like...
No, 14 Celsius.
Oh, 14 Celsius.
Yeah, that's T-shirt weather.
That's wild. That's wild. I think it's like 2.5 degrees. I don't remember. I want to say it's like double it and add a few points, and that's like your general...
Yeah.
That's wild.
Like tops off, yeah.
Wild. But cool, man. So you have a company, Inside Agent.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff. I heard a little bit about it. I didn't go super deep, but I've heard about you. I've seen your stuff. Came highly recommended. But I also think you have a unique story of how you've gotten here. So feel free to share it.
No, thanks so much. So I've worked in the MSP space for 20, 25 years now. It's been a long time. We didn't always call it that,
sure,
but it was always like IT outsourcing and managed service, those kind of things. I was part of a company, an MSP in the UK, and we went around, and in the 7 years that I was there, we did 17 mergers and acquisitions. We bought up 17 other companies.
A lot of work.
Now that would be great, except it just became more and more about the money. It didn't become about the customers, it didn't become about the people. And so what I saw over that 7 years was, as we would buy the next company in, the first thing we did was go, right, who can we get rid of? Which offices can we close? What platforms can we
Sounds
get rid
like private equity nowadays.
It really is. And that's where the money was coming from. We'd obviously promised them a hockey stick of this is what's going to happen. So every time we brought in a business, we were just getting rid of people. And it just people just became a commodity. So when we exited that firm eventually, to another bigger, PE firm.
Sure.
I had a teeny tiny shareholding. And I took that, was debt-free, was lovely, mortgage-free by 40.
Sure.
I was fantastic. What do I do now? And so I set up a small consultancy. Mm-hmm. And the whole idea was, I'm just going to value people.
That's good. That's what we want.
That's my number one. If you look after the people, they'll look after the customers, and then that'll look after the money.
Sure.
That's exactly how I wanted it to be. A lot of mantras will tell you that it's customer's king, customer first, cash is king. I'm like, no, your people. Your people are the most important thing. If you look after them, and in a lot of cases, just be a goddamn human being.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
People go through stuff all the time. Just be there, be a good support, help them. Our team, and we're only 7 in the team. Everyone's got stuff going on. And it's just be a human being.
Sure.
That's what's key.
Yep.
So, that business now for 7 years has done consultancy around 365. And so we've worked with MSPs literally around the world from our little office in Leeds in the UK. We've helped MSPs around the world do migrations and implementations, tenant-to-tenant merges, all that kind of stuff. But the most thing that we did over that time now is security assessments and security remediations. So if this is what good looks like, this is where your customer is right now. And they're not in a good shape. Sometimes we'd look at it yeah, this needs some help. But I always think no judgment, because for an MSP, we tried to be an MSP. We set off, year one, I was do you know what? I've just come from a place where we bought 17 MSPs.
I got
bought
this
them all
bag.
Up. Someone somewhere made a whole load of money
I'm the most qualified.
Yeah. I can do this. If I just want to sellotape some things together and sell it off to the next jackass, I can do that.
Yep.
The guy that owned that MSP, by the way, he'd been in it for like 26 years. He was no longer in the day-to-day, like we'd moved him out. He was complaining at the end of the sale that he was only going to get 99 million. He'd set his heart on 100 million. And so like somewhere throughout that process, he was
Darn.
like, oh, I'm not getting 100 million. So then he's like trying to bully people out of their shares.
That's wild.
And I'm just like, what? Like, how much is enough? And it was genuinely that moment I thought like, if I'm going to work for some kind of jackass, like I may as well work for myself. So that's what like inspired me to go and like start the whole thing. But yeah, we were going to be an MSP. That was the thing. And I was like, look, I can do that. We can, get some clients and buy some other MSPs and sellotape it together.
Sure.
And I realized, you know what? I'm just not a dick. I can't be like that. I want to be nice.
Sure.
And so like we tried to be an MSP. It was hard. Like the printer doesn't work and the Wi-Fi's not. I'm like, I don't know how people do it. That it just wasn't my gift.
Yep.
And so we kind of flipped and we went for consultancy. We'll help MSPs. We'll be really good at 365. MSPs have got a load of stuff to do, like laptops, desktops, Wi-Fi's, printers, words not wording, whatever. They have to know all that stuff and be an expert in 365 as well. And like they keep changing the licenses and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, it's difficult.
It's the never-ending mountain of work.
Yeah. So we could just be like a safe pair of hands. That was the whole idea. So we've done that now for like 7 years. And at the end of it, we've done hundreds of these assessments and hundreds of like 365 remediations, like make all the lights go green, make it secure. And that's when we were like, we need to put this in a portal. Like we need to make it easy for the MSP to do this themselves. Because those MSPs would come to us with like one client. It was always like their favorite client or their special client, someone in legal or finance. And they go, hey, can you do one of those fancy security assessments? I'm like, sure, we do those. That's kind of what we do. It was like 2 days of consultancy. So that MSP is paying us like 2 days of consulting to do a report and put it in a nice PDF. And oftentimes we would jump on the call with the client and like report, deliver the report
Walk them
back.
through it and
We'd white label. So like we just pretend to be them and just like take them through the steps. And then, more often than not, like they'd come back and go, okay, can you fix those things? That was another 3 days. And we were like, they brought us one MSP, like one client, sorry. They've got like 50 clients. How do we help them with the other 49? Because if we saw some of this stuff, and again, we were like, if this is your important client, like...
if this is the pride and joy, I
right?
can't imagine what the rest of the
what's happening to the
fleet looks
guys?
like.
And so we were just like, well, you're never gonna buy 100 days of consultancy off us. And to be fair, we don't want to do that. That sounds real boring.
Yeah.
So how could we put it in a portal or make it automate it, do something? So like the whole thing we set up with Inside Agent was like, make that reporting like easy. So now you can put a tenant in, and like within 5 minutes, you have that whole report. You're like, if this is what good looks like, this is where the customer is. These are all the gaps. So it started from there. We're like, let's make that. And then it just grew arms and legs. It's just, okay, well, now we can fix those things. So let's give you buttons to go fix it. We ended up putting like 150 videos into it of like, here's how you would do that if you want to do it yourself. You can press this button, but would you like to understand what it does? So
here's the why. Why that button.
Trying to be educational about like helping that stuff out. And then also, I think having been in like the MSP space for long enough now that I'm like, there's some things around SaaS that I don't fully agree with. And this is like...
Ooh, like what?
Well, it's like, so SaaS was always meant to be this like pay as you go, do as you use it kind of stuff. But now when you try and buy any SaaS product, it's like, okay, cool. Here's the minimum commitment. Here's the 1, 2, or 3 year contract term. Yeah. And I'm like, I haven't even tried the product yet. Like, can I try it? And well, you need to buy 500 seats. I'm like...
That's I have seen that so many times and I'm like...
But I haven't even used it yet.
Your product is not that good.
No.
Or if it is that good, let me try it and fall in love with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so we have that mentality, which is like, look, you have your own free license. This isn't a pitch, but like you have your own free license. Try it. See if you like it.
Sure.
If you like it, you'll stay and you'll add customers to it. If you don't like it, leave. It's not a gym membership. I'm not holding anybody hostage. Like, just try it. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, leave. But I'd love you to tell me why. Just like, what didn't work? Did it not work with your workflow or your SOP? What didn't work? Then I know I can do something about it and make it better in future. But
absolutely,
that's what we've been going on with, and now we're kind of on this nice worldwide tour of going around different places. So it feels like that. Like I'm glad.
New Orleans is part of the worldwide tour.
Yeah. Well, again, from sunny Leeds, it's different. We were in Canada, like the other end of Canada for me, like 10 days ago.
Oh my God.
So I was like there in Kelowna at CanITCon.
Sure.
So we were there. You get back, I sit down. It was like 24 hours door to door, and I'm like, I'm on a plane in 10 days. Oh God.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, we didn't even travel that far, but it's a lot. And then like, I don't know, like, I feel like it's easier being a vendor because I spoke at ScaleCon. That's why I'm here. And the crushing pressure. And like, I felt like I couldn't have fun. Like I couldn't enjoy myself until after I spoke.
Yeah.
And then after I spoke, I'm like, okay, well now I want to go to bed because like now I can finally like relax a little bit, and then it's just the fun, right? VIP, and you're going and having 1,000,001 conversations with, and honestly, some of the attendees here, I shouldn't even say some, the majority of the attendees here are like the best attendees. Like
it's so good.
They want to learn.
Yeah.
They're not the super. They're not like the super. I'm the best MSP there ever was. They're not the hoity-toity ones. They're like, no, we want to grow. We want to sell. We hate pounding our heads against the wall, not doing the right sales and marketing. And we love our customers. And it's like, I don't, truthfully, and while they are technically, I guess, competitors, right? MSP Camp and Tech Tribe, they do a fantastic job with this. And I've been honored to come back now a second time and hopefully a third time. Hello? Oh, can you give me like 30 minutes? Thank you. And that's like the best part about this conference is they do a great job bringing the right people together, I think.
Yeah. And I think you played down your session there because I was in the room for your session. You were day one, which I know, having said that, because I've spoken at these things as well, like as soon as your session's out the way, you're like, oh, I feel so much better.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Tahir and Nigel, if you watch this video, please put me back on day one for next year. I don't want to be, I can't take the I don't know what's less than bald, but I will have that because and truth be told, I'm not a public speaker. I like I said, in my speech, I like being in my dark room with a camera. I have my notes. I can, if I mess up, I can do another take. And up there is, you got one shot to get it right.
Yeah.
And you're gonna mess up. Something's gonna happen. There's always something. But if you can minimize the amount of, I don't want to say bad, but mess ups and all of that,
just roll with it. Yeah, and this is the thing, and that's why I say you played it down because you absolutely crushed it.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
It was really engaging. It was like you disclaimed it at the beginning, saying, "Oh, I'm normally in my little room." Like you smashed it. It was so good.
Thanks.
And like I think everyone was like really engaged with it as well. I think you did such a good job.
Cool.
So they'd be proud to have you back next year, I'm sure. But I'm going to campaign for you to be on day 2, just so I can see you.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Just
please.
All day 1.
Harrison,
you come in the bar tonight? No.
Dude, you should have seen me. I'm in, like, they have this like little green room, and this is designed, by the way. This is just like a hangout kind of video, but I'm in like the green room, right, the back area before it, and I'm sitting there. I'm just like, okay, like we got this. Like, you just got to get your head in the game, and like I knew it was coming. Like I knew the whole time I was anticipating it was coming, the whole thing, and then like I'm back there, and the lady's like, "What are you doing? You're supposed to be mic'd up by now." I'm like, first of all, your job, not my job. I came back to the area. You have to.
This is the talent.
You mic me up. I don't know what I'm doing, right? As far as that goes, I normally have a mic that I just grab, right? And then once I came out to "Lose Yourself" by Eminem. That was the music this year, and I wanted it to play a little bit and really get it going. And I don't know. I feel like it's a good mindset or a good like tone for the audience and for myself.
Yeah.
And then I let it go, and as soon as it dropped, I was like, "Yep, this is it." Like, and I could feel the goosebumps, and I'm like, "Okay,
there we go.
It is what it is." In a room of 30, 40, 50 people, I'm fine. But like something about that many people, I don't know. It's just.
Yeah, it's like 300 in there. And it was like, because I remember now, I was on just before you. I had like a 60-second pitch. I was on. I made us sing happy birthday to someone just for the sheer embarrassment. But like you're on that stage. It's a full room. The lights are in your face. It was, but what a good environment as well. Like that's what I was saying. Like, because I was back in the audience to watch your session, and you can see the engagement, you can see the nodding heads. Really good session.
Cool. I appreciate it, man.
I'm not just saying that because I'm on your videos.
Absolutely sending him a check for that one. But cool. And so, just out of curiosity, you as a vendor, right? And by the way, this is the only vendor I'm doing this with. What made you decide to, and this is not like a plug for ScaleCon, but I'm curious on the vendor side, like what made you decide ScaleCon is going to be the thing that I'm going to spend money on?
Well, so I've been like part of the tech tribe for a long time, and I've seen how much value that they've given back to the community. And you know, exactly like you said earlier about the attendees here, like the MSPs that are here, not the hoity-toity ones. Like everyone here is such a go-giver. I'm a big fan of like the Bob Berg, the go-giver. And I just think, like, these are not the old guard MSPs that are like, oh no, we've got our secrets.
The old guard, that is a great term, by the way. Great term for that.
They don't want to share, and we've got our secrets. And you're like, you know what? None of this is really secrets. It's like stuff that's worked for you and stuff that's blown up in your face. If you can share that, and like we can learn from each other, that's what these guys here do. And so when we were looking at like, okay, what are the events that we're going to sponsor? I mean, Can ITCon was obvious because everyone's like, they're Canadians. I was like, huh, all right, they're lovely. And also, like the dollar price, oh my God, it was like half price. It was so good. So I was calling that Freedom Dollars, but apparently Freedom Dollars is here in the US.
Yes,
so these are Freedom Dollars. I got it. So like we were looking around and going, okay, that was obvious because they're Canadian. We're real nice people. The community here and the stuff that Taha's built with MSP Camp and obviously Nigel for Tech Tribe, it's just amazing. Just such the right people to have a conversation with. And so we're not hard pitching anyone downstairs. We're like, we just, we made a product. If you like it, have a look at it, check it out. You're welcome to. And people are really, really happy and just coming along and having great conversations. And it's just nice. If it works for them, great, take it, try it. If it doesn't work for you, that's cool. But we're just having nice conversations. And that's like, at the stand or just like at lunch or at the bar, like people are just so open to share like, hey, these are my challenges. This is what's going on. And you'll get another MSP on the other side of the table going, hey, we had that. Here's some things that we've tried. Have you had a look at this stuff? And so they'll recommend like strategies, resources, other people in the room. It's so nice. It's the way that it should be. And I don't think there's many industries that are like us that way. I think a lot more of them are, this is how we do things. I don't want anyone else to be successful. But downstairs at this conference, like there's so many people there that are so willing to share their experience. And that is just gold. I think that's amazing.
I feel like people listen here too. Like a lot of times too, it's like, hey, I've had a bunch of people come up to me and they're like, what do you think about this? And I'll give them my feedback on it, whatever it is. It's the sales, marketing, hey, I know that, and by the way, thank you for everyone that's watched at some point something of my, of our content, but it's so cool to be like, I never thought about it like that, right? And you're like, oh, cool, man. Like, I'm glad that like really helps you. I'm going to go try that. And they're willing to like take the leap of faith. And who knows, maybe it's their last ditch effort or whatever it is, but it feels like they're very receptive where you get the old guard MSPs and they're, and for anyone that doesn't know, the old guard, right? We're referring to like the older MSPs that are, gritty and don't want to help anybody and don't want to give away their secrets.
Stuck in their ways.
If I tell somebody, it's just going to be like, I'm giving away the secrets. I give away the secrets on YouTube all day, every day, right? And I do think that the MSPs here, like, just either want to learn and genuinely want to help other people. And even the conversations that other MSPs are having with just each other and that and being, I've been a fly on the wall for some of those conversations. They're awesome.
It's so good. And I think that's it. Like, this is a growth mindset conference. That's the whole thing. And so for that, the kind of people that are coming. And there's still going to be some of those guys like, oh, I'm not sure, but maybe I'll learn something.
Always.
But I think they then get like sucked into the environment of everyone else where everyone's like sharing and they're like, oh, I didn't know people were like this. Yeah, this is how it should be.
Yeah.
So I love it. It's been really great here.
And I know that at some point this is going to be a giant conference. I have to imagine, right? And I'm excited for it to become so they can actually make money because I know that currently, as far as I know, I don't know if I'm supposed to say it, but I will. But they lose money on it.
Well, I think he said that on stage today.
Yeah. So they lose money on it. And thankfully, I'm not a financial backer on there. I'm just kidding. But I feel like a lot of the times, like when it gets too big, the dollar signs start really talking more than the people's, I don't want to say feelings, but like what people truly want out of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But look, they could make money on this, but
Yeah.
they've got their ethics, right? And they've got their
Yes.
stance. Like they won't sell speaking time on the stage.
Yes.
They've actively turned down like big sponsors
Yes.
because like they don't want to sell the list of people who come along. And I'm like, I love that. That's like the ethics and the morals alongside that. They could be making the money.
Sure.
And do you know what? They will be, and they can stick to those as well. It's just going to keep growing.
Yep.
And you can be there like, I was speaking at the first one of these, and the second, and then on the third on day 2, I was
now, not day 2, day 1, please. But no, I do agree, and I always find it interesting too. And there's no shame and no shade towards any of the major. It's usually an RMM and PSA tool, and I'll leave it at that. But it's like the CEO of the company, right? And they're the ones giving like a keynote or something like that. I'm like, dude, you are the furthest person in the entire business removed from the people actually using the tools, right?
Yeah.
And the way they interact and the technicians. And I'm just like, I don't understand why people flock and watch, and I get it to a degree, but I'm just like, I feel like it'd be so much more valuable to have, the people that are actually doing it. And I think that's what this is about. And I wonder if they're selective on who they even let sponsor, because I feel like they have to be to a large degree.
Yeah, I would see that as well, because like they told us like some of the cases they said no. They didn't say who, but they're like, this is what they wanted and that doesn't align with us. So we're like, no, we're not going to take those as a sponsor. Again, if you just kind of say yes to everybody, like you have a YouTube channel, if people start like want to sponsoring you for stuff, you're like, you will have your choice of like.
You'd be surprised how many I've turned down.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're going to turn this down? I go, no interest.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's like, and it is truthfully a throw up in your mouth amount of money.
Yeah.
That I've been offered already for, plugs and that kind of thing. And I'm just like, nope.
No, because you've got to stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that's
and the moment I take that money, it's dirty money. And now I'm not producing the most unbiased content that I could produce.
It's that authentic like Harrison that you get in the video because you're not being swayed by the dollars.
Yep.
And I think they're the same at the conference.
But if you guys do want me to sell out, I wouldn't be that angry.
He has a price.
See, if you keep signing up for MSP Heroes, I can keep funding the lifestyle that I live, which is really pretty humble. And then I don't ever have to look at that money. I would never. I've been offered some stupid amounts of money for plugs and that kind of thing, and I have no interest in.
No, like unless it's something you genuinely use and do yourself, in which case you're like, oh, do you know what? I use this, and you'd still be transparent, say, like, hey, they've paid for a sponsor or whatever. But you see so many people just kind of get swept into it, like, oh, it's a bit of money. I'll say anything.
Yep.
By the way, I'll say anything. So if you want to send me money, no morals. Just
I did hear too, and I won't name what company. It was a big RMM and PSA tool, RMM tool. And they may or may not pay for #1 spots on different websites.
Oh.
And they pay a tremendous amount of money on it. And I was like, now, I came from the SEO world. I am well aware that this happens. But I like to turn a blind eye to different things. And they flat out were like, yeah, this is what we're doing. And I was like, okay. Not for me, but, God bless. I'm not going to, I won't throw anybody under the rug, but
no, and this is it. Like my comments around this conference. I don't like to throw shade at any other conference. I've been to so many great conferences, but I think there's something that resonates around those morals and ethics that I talked about. I just think it's good people, and that attracts good people. And then like the conversations are they're so valuable here.
Yeah.
I think that's what's really good. Like if you are watching this and you didn't get to come to ScaleCon, then I would genuinely recommend it.
So actually, funny enough, you mentioned that, right? So I made a video 5 days. I've plugged ScaleCon several times, right? Because I also want my people to show up, right? And to support me. Even if you're a YouTube subscriber and you've never given me $1, that's fine, right? But you've watched the channel and that means the world to me. And somebody was like, I wish I knew about this earlier. I'm like, dude, I've plugged this like no less than 15 times on different videos. And then I made like a full video like the week before. So like, I'm sorry, I won't mention the person's name, but like I try, like I don't get paid to speak at ScaleCon. I don't pay to speak at ScaleCon.
Yeah.
I do it because I pay my own way, right? there's a percentage of people in the audience that will eventually sign up, and yes, that's how I make some money coming. But like, I'm footing the bill for all of it, right? And then for anyone that doesn't know, I have an employee, Brandon, and he comes with me, and he's he's a lot of the horsepower that helps run MSP Heroes. But it's a financial commitment to come here and time away from the family and all that, and
100%. Yeah,
you're on the road a lot.
Yeah. And so like when we started this, because like running a SaaS company is very different to running like a consultancy. Very different.
Sure.
Like, in our consultancy world, we're just like slow and lazy, and hey, we've got our clients and we help our partners, and like there's no salespeople. There's no sales motion in that business. We're just like, people will come, and we just had a lovely time.
Mm-hmm.
That's our consultancy business. And suddenly you're a SaaS business. You're like, holy crap, we need to like be out there and be seen and get to the events. And so I had to speak to my wife, and I was like this is what we're starting to do. This is what it's going to mean. I'm like going to be over in in Canada, and I'm going to be in New Orleans, and I'm going to be over in Amsterdam. And
do you get your passport stamped?
Yeah, I wish. Like it would be so good if like they still did that. Like
it's the saddest thing.
I know.
They don't really. You have to ask for it now. You can still find it, but you do have to ask for it, and then.
I've like the customs and border guys here are super serious. I do not want to ask them anything. Like, could you stamp my passport?
Dude, you're not kidding.
They are so serious.
But you go through. Oh no, you came from the UK.
Yeah.
So you had to go through customs here.
Yeah, so we landed in Atlanta and then switched and then came to New Orleans.
Where'd you go through customs, in Atlanta? Or?
Yeah, Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah. So like first port of entry, that's where you go through the border. I remember I came to the US. We were getting married, so we came to the US. We did like a bit of a tour. And I remember landing and going through customs then. And I was just, there waiting to do it. And the guy's like, oh, I see you like revolutions. You trying to start a revolution here? And I was like, I'm sorry. And he's like, your shirt. It says, revolutions. And I literally had to do this. I was like, does it? Like it was just a t-shirt. He was so angry. I didn't think that was the time to go, well, this whole country's kind of built on revolutions. I mean, Boston Tea Party. We used to run this place once, that was not the time for that. No. I know when to keep my mouth shut.
So when I went to Canada, they had to do you have to go through, same thing, customs. And it was so funny. So I go through customs and that why you here, right? And I was helping another MSP with a convention, and I'm like, here for a dental convention, right? And they're like, okay, and I was like, that's it. And I was like,
yeah.
Canada might be a little too laid back. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you want my fingerprints?
Yeah.
Right.
And then I'm coming back through the other way. Did you buy anything that's worth more than whatever, like $1,500 or something like that? I forget what it was. And I'm like, no. They're like, what'd you do, right? And like I hesitated because I just forgot. Like I just I feel like life is a blur sometimes. And I was like, dental convention, which is like the weirdest thing I feel like to say.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like,
he's making that up.
They're like, okay, sounds good, right? And I was like, this might be a little too simple. I feel like it should have been a little more challenging than that.
Is this a trick? Am I going to walk and then like the floor's going to... Ah!
I don't know. Just I haven't traveled that much. I feel like even when I went to Norway, it was a little more serious. But at least when I went to Canada, it was just like, yeah, that sounds great. Yeah. I was like, cool. That's
friendly.
Yep. Hey, they live up to the name, right? So.
Yeah. Like, we're really sorry. We have to ask you some questions. Again, sorry.
Yeah, but it was, look, that's how it goes. So you started a SaaS company. Yeah. You guys help people with office specifically.
Sure. Yeah.
Where is the future going for Inside Agent? When should an MSP say, hey, let's chat?
Yeah, well, so we are very good at helping MSPs with like if you've got like 30, 40, 50 tenants to look after, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Just trying to make sure that like they're all set up properly, everything's in the right place. That's a lot to do manually. Like when I was telling you about those manual security assessments we used to do, like it would be my guys like running scripts and clicking buttons and all that stuff. It would take my best guy like 6 hours. And that's before he then writes it up and sticks it in a nice table and whatever. So in 6 hours just to do a security check and do that once. And that's something that we've busted down to 5 minutes. Like you just onboard it and it runs in 5 minutes and then it runs every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so like for you to look after like 30 tenants, I think you'd need to hire an extra 3 people just to do those security checks every day. It's just like, oh, and it's a job no one wants to do, right? So I'm just like, if that's something that sounds like it could be helpful, have a look at it. And this is why I want to be like really easy breezy around you can try it, it's free, you know, you can onboard people. You don't have to pay us anything. You don't have to commit to anything. You don't even have to talk to us. You can just go on the website, sign up yourself. Like if you want us, we're there.
Sure.
But like that's as far as it goes. There's like no salespeople, no commission or anything like that. We're just trying to make a good product.
Gotcha.
And so if it's like if you're struggling with 365, and often the struggle that we get is like people don't know what good looks like on 365 security.
Sure.
Like it's a thing they've had to adapt to. I'm like, I don't know what good looks like. Like, cool, okay. There's lots and lots of resources, but you can spend so much time reading and then it changes. And you're like, okay, I just want something to make life easier.
Sure.
This is a great thing to try.
Sure.
But I think like for us, we're not interested in like trying to trap people into it or anything like that. I'm like, if it's genuinely helpful,
great,
use it.
Yep.
You know, that's what we want. The mission for us is to like secure as many 365 tenants as possible.
Sure.
If you do that with us, that's great. If you do that with another platform, that's also great. I'd rather it was me, but the mission is to secure the clients so that we don't have to have like small businesses getting breached. And I know we see it all the time in like the media, we see like the large companies, but it's the small businesses that I've had to sit like face to face with. And like and genuinely I've seen this, like you see the look on the guy's face. He's got like 20 staff. He spent the last 15 years building this business, and he scrimped and he saved like pennies and pennies to like keep it going and make payroll some months, and it's been tough and this, that, and the other. And then like just in one day, like £6,000, about $10,000 goes missing out of the bank account. And that is crippling. It doesn't sound like a lot of money, but they're a small business. And
there's a lot of small businesses scraping
for like
by.
10,000.
And we need them.
Yeah, just disappears. And they're like, they're crippled. Like now they can't make payroll. Now they can't pay their team. And the guy or the girl that's running that business, the devastation on their face. Like I've sat opposite the business owner that this happened to, because we were brought in to kind of tidy up and figure out what happened. And it was so obvious what happened. Someone had been in and set up all the security policies. The MD had said, this MFA thing's too much of a pain in the ass. You can turn it off just for me because I know what I'm doing. And the MSP did it. Now, the MSP should have said no, but they did it because they let the customer kind of push them around a bit. And like, he knows what he's doing. Of course he doesn't. So they turned it off.
We barely know what we're doing half the time.
Yeah, is that right? Like it was a couple of weeks. His account got breached. And what they did, it's not cool, but it was clever what they did. They sat and they watched. They watched how he communicated with people. Mm-hmm. And so, and you wouldn't believe how easy it was, because the way he communicated internally was he would email the girl that does the payments, and he'd be like, this client, account number, sort code, this amount, go. And she would just write back, done. And that was the cadence that they saw. So they just watched. And so what they then did was, like, after a few weeks, they put an email in to her from him. This account, this sort code, this amount, go. And it was like $100. Wasn't a lot.
Sure.
Just try it out. And it came back, done. And they were like, it cannot be that easy. So then he saw it again, slightly larger amount, slightly different account, done. And then so the next one was just like a big one.
Yep. Pay this.
And this was it. And so like when
if they were really smart, they would have done it.
Just keep chipping away.
Just keep chipping away.
But I think they wanted to like smash and grab and go.
Yeah.
So like they did the big one, and then it was only like, it was afterwards, and we had to go back and find the trails. It was afterwards when he was like, oh, this amount to go, and she's like, there isn't any money for that. What do you mean there's no money? Well, we've already sent this. Well, when did you send those? And she's like, well, here's the emails from you.
Sure.
Telling me to send them. And he's like, I didn't send those. Okay, so this is where we get called in. And like, that's when he realized, they just sat in there. And it's a classic business email compromise. They were sat there, and I had to sit next to the guy. And like, you could see it. It was devastating. And that's my point. Like, that's why the mission. That's let's go secure those tenants with us, with someone else, but let's get it done. What a lot of MSPs are doing is they're securing the tenants that the clients pay them the most, or they're on the premium package, or they're in a regulated industry, and the rest of the tenants, well, they don't pay enough, or their ass is hanging out in the wind. It's just like, yeah, we're not going to deal with that. And I'm like, I get it. From a certain extent, I understand it.
Sure.
And that's why, like, technology like we're developing has to be like priced reasonably well enough that you could just put it on everybody.
Sure.
Like, it should just go on everybody.
If you don't mind me asking, if it's public information,
yeah,
what does it typically cost?
Well, so like, yeah, all the pricing's on our website.
Okay.
Like, it'll start at like $1.50 a user, and it'll drop to like 60 cents. It just depends how many.
But today only you can get it free for life. I'm just kidding.
If you're a Tech Tribe member,
whoa, chill. They got to be MSP heroes.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah. So no. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. If you're an MSP hero, he needs to. Anyway. But no, look. That's why I want it to be like on everybody, and this is something that like. I was challenging the guys in Canada about this in my presentation, and it's right now when an MSP brings on a client,
sure,
to secure the tenant is often seen as a project, and there's a project cost associated with that.
That should just be standard.
Yeah, like they're like, oh, we're gonna get your secure score up to 80%. And that's we'll do that as a project for you, and it's going to take a few weeks, and this, and it's like $5,000.
There's just that hack in Canada, and I forget the exact details because it's been a couple weeks now, but you probably remember it better than I do. But it was in Ontario, and I want to say it was like something like $18 million or something like that.
It sounds like something they were talking about at the event. I think I barely slept, so I'm like, oh, that sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
But like, it's stuff like that where you just go, that shouldn't happen, because like, we're bringing the clients in, and then we're saying, okay, we need to secure this because it's not in a good shape. Here's like $5,000 for us to set it up properly. And you're like, 80% of a secure score. Not that I think secure score is a good metric. I'll be honest. It's fine. It's okay. I understand why it's so popular. But 80% should be your starting point.
Sure.
It should be like no less than this. Let's get them there. And then we're serious about security. Like, that's a bare minimum. That shouldn't be your aspirational goal for security. Start there. Bring the client in, and you just do the work. Get them to here. Because you're going to get less breaches. You're going to get less tickets. You're going to get less incidents.
That's what people don't realize is they get less tickets.
It
actually makes you more profitable.
Yeah.
And the Canadian breach, the insurance company didn't want to pay out. I remember. I just don't remember how much it was. But the insurance company didn't want to pay. Shouldn't even say didn't want to. They're not paying out because they didn't have MFA on. And it had been several months, and they didn't get MFA rolled out on everybody's account. And it's just like...
And this is where, like, and I talk to MSPs a lot about this. We let the client push us around. And I think, like, as MSPs, we should be like lawyers.
Hey, doc, I don't want you to do the full arm surgery so I could use my arm for the rest of my life. I want you to do the arm surgery that I want you to do.
Yeah. Or actually, you do the tricky bit, and then I'll do the rest. I'll do the stitching up because I need to save some money.
Wild.
Yeah. So like, I'm like, we need to stop letting the clients push around. Like, if you go and buy a house, and the lawyer's like, okay, here are the 10 things that we're going to do, and here's all the checks, and here's all the documents. You don't go, do you know what? I don't want to do those ones. And like we have this back home. Like, if you buy a house, you have to have a mining survey. I don't know if that's the same here, but
what's a mining survey?
So it's to check if there was a mining tunnel underneath your house. So
that's
if there
crazy.
was ever a mining tunnel under your house, and I'm like, if the 20 people who had this house before me had the mining survey and there wasn't a mining tunnel then, I'm fairly confident that they haven't put a mining tunnel in the last 5 years.
Sure.
So do I need to pay for the mining survey? And so maybe I could just cross that off. No. Everybody has the same checks because that's what the lawyers tell you to do. And so you're like, okay, this is what we're doing. You're an MSP, you go in, you go, all right, you need our backup software, you should have some antivirus, we should get you on Business Premium, we're going to roll out Intune. And the client's like, I don't really want to pay for that. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, I think too many people cave. You got to have a backbone.
You've got to be strong with them. And especially when, like, those guys who turned off MFA for the MD and he gets hacked It's devastating.
And they're going to be pointing the finger at you.
Yeah.
I promise they're going to go be bashing. They are going to be ruthless in your reviews and telling everybody else and all that kind of stuff, because nobody wants to get hacked.
Even if they don't, like if they're like in like if they're a regulated authority, but they've got to disclose it, and then they're going to say, well, this is our IT provider. So even if they understand what happened, the public knowledge is, well, this is the company that got breached, and this was the IT company supporting them. No one's going to want to work with you.
No one.
I mean, no one's going to work with you. I keep going like really high, but like I just think like you've got to start you impose the security. And I know like you can't have one size fits all, but you've got to like really get that baseline of security up. Don't treat it like a project. Make them safe.
I think it should be a part of onboarding. I will say this.
Yeah.
I will say this to the cows come home. Your onboarding is your project.
Yeah.
You have one, however you decide to do it. It's either a set rate, you charge, your monthly rate per computer, whatever it may be. But you got, like, it just has to be a part of your onboarding.
Yeah.
Right.
Make them safe day one.
Yes.
And then, and the nice thing is like you set that expectation day one as well. So like, rather than caving in and like slowly, you're like, no, okay, this is it. It's gonna be like a speed bump while we get you set up.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go through the pain together.
Yep.
And because it's a change, they're changing IT providers anyway. So now's a good time to have that change. Oh wow, it's like a whole new system. Yeah, it is, because we're gonna keep you safe.
Sure.
Oh, but there's a lot more speed bumps. Yeah, but the last guys weren't looking after you, and you don't want to get hacked. That's what we're here to do, because we're the company that are going to look after you properly.
Sure.
And so you may as well get all that pain out straight
away. It ends up in less tickets.
Yeah.
Higher profitability.
Yeah.
Your client's going to go through some stuff that they're probably not happy about. Whatever. They're not happy. Nobody's ever happy. Yeah. The happiest people are in one place, and that's Disney World, right? And even then, they're probably still not that happy, right? So just... You want to do the right thing for your client. You don't want the tickets. You don't want the breach. You don't want to have to disclose everything. And a lot of times, too, even with, as far as I know, like cybersecurity policies, if you don't have certain stuff in place immediately, they're not picking up the tab.
Yeah.
So, if a cybersecurity policy is going to, in most cases, requires MFA, as far as I know, pretty much across the board.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm not an insurance expert. If they're requiring it, it's that important, because they are there specifically to cover if something that goes above and beyond what their standard of, safety is.
Yeah. And that's always thing, like, don't be the box checker that goes, okay, well, like the bare minimum is MFA, so we'll make sure everyone's got MFA.
Yeah.
Don't do that. There's like really good, like open standards for what does good look like in a 365 environment.
Sure.
Do that. Do that as part, exactly like you said, as part of the onboarding, get them to there. You'll sleep better. If all of your clients were there, you'll sleep better.
Sure. And if they don't want to do it,
they're
not a good client.
They're not a good client. Like, and this is it. Like, you go to those lawyers and you're like, well, I don't want to pay for any of this stuff. And they're like, well, I guess we're not the lawyer for you.
Yeah.
And that's cool. That's okay. Not every client is a good fit for you.
Then go find, if you want an MSP that's not going to do it to the highest standard, that's fine.
Yeah.
Go find some. Let it be their problem.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be my problem.
Yeah, because the only person who's going to be on the hook for that is you, your MSP. You compromise on those securities. Like, from day one, you've set the tone that the client can push back on us and say no.
Yep.
When it comes to, and again, this is why I say, like, we should be more like lawyers. The expert is right here, and we are telling you this is the right thing to do. And I know, look, the MSP industry isn't regulated, so it's a bit like the Wild West. There are some guys and businesses out there that really just take advantage. They're like, oh, you need this, and all these things. And like, they just pile stuff on just to make cash out of it. And you're like, I get it. But I think, and your kind of audience is not going to be those kind of guys, right? We want the forward-thinking guys. Well, I hope so. But like, you want the guys that are like open and honest and transparent and authentic. And like, they're the guys like, this is our recommendation. These are the reasons why.
Sure.
And if you can't go like that, if you can't bring, you can't agree to these security settings, I don't think we're going to be a good fit as an MSP for you.
Sorry.
Because we don't want you to get hacked. And if you do, you can't just abdicate responsibility for security onto us. It's got to be a partnership. And our recommendation is this is the experts. So
Sure.
this is what we need to roll
Yeah,
out.
and in a lot of cases, you got to lock the clients out. You can't, in many cases, clients can be their own worst enemy.
Yeah.
Just I know what I'm doing.
Yes.
Just turn off MFA for me. I don't want to deal with having to put a code in every couple hours. Like, yeah, it drives all of us crazy. It's not fun.
Yeah.
I hate dealing with it. But like
if you use your banking app, or you like make a payment with PayPal or whatever, it's like, oh, I need to do your MFA code. Oh yeah, cool, okay.
Yeah, it's nice on the banking app though because you get the text and then it automatically copies it. Which does make it a little bit easier, but still.
If you roll out Authenticator though, probably like you literally just do a Face ID and it's like, okay, you're logged in. Like,
yeah.
You can make it easy.
Yeah, I do agree. I think there's too much.
We back off too easy, I think.
Yeah, gotta have a backbone. Yeah. And look, it makes sense, right? You don't get into tech because you're an outgoing, robust kind of person that loves being the center of attention. You like being in tech because most people, right? And I was like this for the longest time, so don't throw any shade at me, but you get into tech because you typically are fairly introverted. You love dealing with technology. You don't want to have to deal with too many people, right? You get to work on the servers and computers and systems and networks, all 24/7 whenever you want, right? You don't go into tech saying, I can't wait to tell customers exactly what they need. Like, you don't, right? It's
I can't wait to tell that MD of that law firm no. You listen to me.
And you do. And sometimes you do end up dealing with people that have, wildly impressive degrees, surgeons, and, you have a variety of, in this case, I normally say the alphabet agencies, HIPAA, FINRA, but you have the people that have accrued PhDs and MDs and DDSs, and I don't even know all of them that follow the word, follow the names, but I mean, yeah, they've worked their butt off to get where they are, but it's still, you don't want them to, nobody's going to go back to that. In all reality, we're helping that business.
Yeah, no one's saying they're stupid or anything like that. That's not it. Like, they're very smart people.
Yes.
But they're very good at what they do.
And you actually hurt more people by letting them get hacked.
Yes.
Because if, let's just say, an oral surgeon, right? An oral surgeon gets hacked, right? Because he didn't want or she didn't want to have multi-factor authentication. They got to put that out to everybody. They lose an immediate amount of trust, which means they get to help less people have a healthier amount of teeth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or healthier teeth or healthy oral hygiene, whatever you want to call it, right? A brain surgeon, whatever, even just a general practitioner that's trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
So I think people don't look at it in that aspect of it where, yes, I know it's a pain in the butt and you have to have those uncomfortable conversations, but in a weird way, you're actually helping tons and tons and tons of people.
Yeah. And like, this is the thing, like, no one, like, your general employees don't set out to like break security or be obnoxious or maliciously do something. Oftentimes they're just trying to get the work done. Mm-hmm. And so I remember like a very specific example with my wife, and in a previous company that she worked at, they didn't give them laptops or anything like that.
Sure.
And so she's in the office one day and she's like working away on something, and she can't get it finished. So she emailed it to herself at her Yahoo account so that she could go home and carry on working on that spreadsheet, whatever it was she was doing, and then email it back to herself in the office because no laptop, no remote access. So she's like, I'm doing a good thing because I'm putting more hours in than I'm getting paid for, right? She's an accountant. She's a smart girl. She doesn't see the issue. Like, she just emailed it to herself so she can carry on doing some more work.
And she thinks email's automatically safe.
Well, she's just like, I don't even think that was considered. I think it was just like, I need to be able to do this at home.
Yeah. But they're just not thinking about it. They just think, well, it's probably fine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they don't realize, well, you're going to open it up on that computer. That computer could have God knows what on it.
Well, yeah.
Right?
And you send it to your Yahoo account. So it's just like, where's that stored?
Yep.
Who's got access to that? It's like, they're not being malicious and they're not stupid.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
They're just trying to get their job done. And I think that, we often see that with like you say about the dental clinics and the hygienists. They're like, I don't want all this nonsense. I just need to get on the computer and just get to the records and do the stuff for the patient. I don't need all the speed bumps. Like, we get it. But like, if we don't have the speed bumps, the risk is Like that
massively
to get
higher.
it's just like the offset is just not worth it.
Yeah. And then you're probably getting sued.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
especially
Well,
if it's in a regulatory if it's in a regulated industry.
Yeah. You're screwed.
Trust me, that lawyer does not care on the other end how many times they had to do an MFA.
No.
They do not. So stinks. Scott, thanks for hanging out, man.
Genuinely, thanks for having me. This was impromptu and
Very.
really nice.
Very.
Really nice. So thanks to everyone for joining us for this as well.
Thanks to Lyle. We'll give a little shout out to Lyle. Lyle was the instigator of this whole thing. I'm drained. So is Scott. Scott's been working his butt off. And we're in the hotel room. Last year, no shame on ScaleCon, last year they had some media rooms, and I just don't think they had the space for media rooms.
It's busy. There's so many people and sponsors, and it's hectic down there.
And this was the best place.
Yeah.
And honestly, don't tell anyone I didn't bring a tripod. So we made it work, and we're here. So
no, I like it's scrappy but amazing. I love it. So
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for
so much.
Thanks for coming. Oh, and before we leave, how do people find you?
Oh, sure. You can get it insideagent.com. You'll find us there. You can get me on LinkedIn. I'm Scott Riley. It wasn't that difficult a name. It's okay. But you can find me.
It did not sound like Riley when I was on the other side of the room, by the way. But I will also leave links down below for you to go check it. And if you do decide to buy, you can harass him for, I don't know, just for fun at this point.
Like for the MSP Heroes discount.
Yeah. Don't tell anybody about that. Appreciate you, brother.
No, thanks, man.
Cool.